No, you don't need the.
I'm doing this my way.
He a legend, he a legend, he a legend. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend.
Talking on it though, then
He
you
a
can't work
legend.
it up later.
Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of items. Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of items.
What's up, everybody? It's Pikel with League of Items, and in this video, I'm just going to read off of a document because I got to say something about the LCS. So, how do we fix the LCS? How do we fix North America? The reason I was inspired to make this video is because a YouTube viewer named YDG posted on my The NA Problem video, and it made me think about some changes that I'd want to make to the LCS. He wrote, "The game, League of Legends, basically has unlimited potential with the amount of champions, champion combinations, and infinite possibilities for options of plays around the map. Unfortunately, outside of a few outliers, we see the same 20 champions a pick banned for weeks or entire splits until the meta shifts and the cycle repeats." I think this comment highlights the optimism most League players and viewers have, which is why we are so frustrated with the state of the LCS. It's just not interesting. It doesn't have the best players. It doesn't have the best casters. It doesn't have the best gameplay. They try so hard with segments to compete with the other broadcast crews, but it's brutal, falls flat almost every time, just not interesting. It's unfortunate, but it's true. It's a lot of wasted time, effort, and money. They should just probably stop doing all that. With that being said, there are some changes that I think might help. 1, change to the LEC format. The new format they have with the little splits, through 3 weeks of best of ones, everybody plays everybody once, bam, go into playoffs. Brilliant move. I loved it. The last 3 weeks have been really cool, and I'm excited to see what happens in the playoffs. I think ultimately we will get the same old teams doing better than everybody, but that's fine. It just makes it happen over a 3-week period instead of like an 8-week period or whatever a double round robin takes. 2, have coaches draft before they get on stage. We don't need the pageantry of a draft with the players there. Remove the players from the equation and allow the coaches to actually think. The reason this is important is because players are so opinionated and so wrong about how to play the game. The reason they are thought of as strong players is because of their mechanics and game knowledge, like of specific matchups, not their general intelligence or ability to think under time constraints and things like that. We have no problem talking in those terms about football players, baseball players, soccer players, any other sport. Why should League of Legends be any different? I'm not saying that the coaches always know better, but when it comes to making a game plan, a lot of times they know better. I'm just saying that not all players know what they're talking about. And ultimately, if a team truly feels this way and doesn't think the coaches know better, then why have a coach? Have a player call the shots. Give the teams more time to think, and we will get a better, hopefully more thoughtful and interesting product. 3, allow coaches to communicate during the game. Almost every sport allows their coaches to participate except for something like chess. And I know some people want to think of League as chess. It's not chess, but I think that some of the chess broadcasting stuff would be better than what we get anyways. The coaches should be able to help shot call and keep their players on task. When I helped coach Yale's team, I would often talk to them during the scrims with the other coaches' permission, because we were working on different things like rotations for Rift Herald or something like that. Like we'd go into a game and we'd want to work on something, so why not talk about it with the players? This would allow coaches to calculate things in real time too, to figure out how far ahead they are, how far behind they are, what's the best way to get back into a game, and it'll help them make informed decisions during the game. It'll also be an interesting way to hear that everybody kind of go back and forth with a coach who's really more of a part of the team at that point. And then most players are so focused on mechanics and farming, they don't want to put much thought into what's happening in the game, and that gets pushed onto 1 or 2 players who are the best shot callers, which is a huge advantage for certain teams. So it would be limiting that advantage, but at the end of the day, I think it'd be a more interesting product. 4, force more teams to play more champions. Limit the number of times a champion can be selected or banned by a team throughout a split or a subsection of games. It's a very simple change. Yes, it fundamentally changes what's going on, but it's something to try to change it up, keep things fresh for the viewer. 5, relegation. Bad teams should be punished. I know the franchise model won't allow for this in the short term, so the LCS should consider opening a second region on the East Coast, go for 10 teams in each region or 8 teams in each region, with the buy-in money compensating existing franchises for the new competition. It's really tough to do something like this, but I think that having, the same 10 teams that are the franchise and having to buy them out, it's just not going to be a viable long-term solution. Obviously, you want to help protect the franchises that are there now and the investors and all the money that's involved. I know it's not an easy thing to do, but something needs to change to help continue growing the game. Like, there needs to be a moving league. Like, it can't just be on the West Coast. They either need to have like different splits throughout the year in different places where you can like sell out stadiums and stuff like that. I think that's probably where the future of League of Legends is, and hopefully that changes things, because that would be so much more interesting. Like, it'd be cool if they played California, Texas, Chicago, New York, Florida, just go all the way around the country, make it like the PGA Tour. You're just going to different places and playing, and then maybe for like the different places you could have different champions that you're allowed to play or not allowed to play, or like have a restricted number of champions that are allowed at any given point in time. Those kinds of things would be pretty interesting, in my opinion. And then 6, forget Champions Queue. Create an actual solo queue ladder for teams to compete in and stream all the matches. And have it be like the portion of the split. I think that would be one option. The other option, which is probably the better option, is have a fantasy draft tournament once a year where captains get selected and then snake draft the rest of the players with prize pools. This way, all of the players who are contracted with a team can still, compete in these games, but it'll switch up the players interacting with one another, and it'll be like a different test. So like you could have that as being one portion of the year, even if it's during the off season, just something new, something different to compete with the other regions, because what we're doing right now isn't working, and the league is going to die, or League of Legends in North America is going to die or something. That'd be really sad, because this is where it was created. So those are just some suggestions on how to maybe change things in the future for League of Legends. I love League. It's a great thing to watch and pay attention to, bet on, talk about on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully it's around for the long haul. Anyways, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.